Tell me if you can hear her when I move the computer file away, okay? Alright, so welcome Mama G, Gaamaa, Gloria, Paramount, Chieftain of the Maroon, Jamaican Maroons, or Diaspora Maroons, in that she sees herself in a wider frame. Now you all would, if we are putting her into the context of our class, be able to think about the connections that I'm trying to get you to make between patriarchal capitalism and the experience of people of African descent. But also to think about it in terms of different ideation systems and how they produce different relationships to the environment. Mama G has an idea of human relationship to the environment rooted in African knowledge systems, indigenous knowledge systems, and she is also a leader of the Maroons, one who has been the only woman sitting in a secretariat of men prior to coming to the chieftaincy. And within that context, she founded the Maroon Indigenous Women's Circle to give voice to women. So that if we are interested in climate justice, it means we are also interested in gender justice and in, objecting to all forms of domination. I thought it was important to invite her here. I'm glad that she has agreed to come and to be a part of the reasoning with you, because it invites us into a way of thinking about these issues that, should give us a perspective that you don't get in the everyday necessarily. So I want to welcome her and look forward to hearing her this morning.
Yes, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
As Tim said, I'm Gaamaa Mama G, but I call me Mama G. Gaamaa is my title. I was installed by the Surinamese Gaamaa, but I am the first female Gaamaa. They have never given that title to anyone before. The Gaamaa here is the Paramount chief. They are over all the chiefs and the chief of chief and chiefs in the village in Suriname. So
before you start, I should have said the title of her talk is The Reemerging Divine Femininity. So, sorry to interrupt.
So, I'm here this morning to share with my knowledge with you. I'm happy to be here. To talk with you is one of my passions. Sharing knowledge. I've been speaking at different universities, but it's the first time that I've been at the University of West Indies to speak. I speak at Bridgewater, keynote speaker. I speak at Boulder in Colorado, and I have another speaking at Connell in Utica. So I am out there. I'm just back from Dubai, where I did a presentation on the importance of woman-centered society in Dubai. So I've been around and I give thanks that I've got the privilege to do these things as someone who grew up in a domestic violence home and I've experienced domestic violence as a child. So the motto that I live by is what life experience has taught unto me, I will teach to those who want to. The experience of being in a domestic violence home as a child, I give thanks for those experiences because experience teaches knowledge, and it is what has given me the push to do what I do. I'm also a certified trained social worker from School of Continuing Studies over here, which that's a story they will tell you. I came in without no money and demanded it, and they sent me away all day and I didn't leave until the other stuff. So that's also I enter UWI. So I'm happy to give back, you know. Yes. So this morning, as Ms. James said, my talk is based around the re-emerging or emergence of the divine femininity, because we are in the era for that what you see is happening right now. It's just the shift making way for the feminine energy to come. Many years, over 5,000 years of patriarchal governance has seen many disasters within the planet, because we see they do democracy. They have become a democracy that has two chambers, but in Jamaica, the two chambers is two different parties, still male dominated. But to me, that kind of democracy is men and women getting their equal right, because for general community to and society to be balanced, you need the thinking and the input of both gender. Just like how the home structure is set up. Just like how the celestial body of the sun, you have the moon. These are models that we should follow. The feminine energy is needed in every situation, because how the women think and what they see, how the mother thinks, is not generally how the father thinks. So they both think on a different level because of the role they play and because of who they are. So when you left one out of the picture in any situation, there is a terrible consequences of imbalance. And that is what we are experiencing over the years, imbalance. So I have a few notes, but generally I don't really go through notes or so when I'm doing my thing, but I love to write articles also, so I always like to have a written paper. But I have to apologize, I couldn't come this morning with handouts or written paper because I was taking up a couple of weeks with the returning of the Sierra Leone and the opening of the Sierra Leone, because I'm connected to those Maroons from my village that went into Sierra Leone. So I was also busy this week, so I have to apologize. I don't have handout to give you, but I can still send them to the stage and she will hand them to you.
Thank you.
So the re-emerging of the divine energy. So we know that divine femininity also it is known as Mother Goddess, because you have God and everything is balanced. If you have a God, you should have a goddess. You know, it just can't be just male rule, because every male comes originally from a female. No matter how great a king is, he was once a son, birth from a woman. So, and for the woman to carry him inside of her, there is many things that she passed on to him. So, the Mother Goddess, Mother Nature, or Mother Earth, as we so call that divine feminine energy, is the personification of nature. She symbolizes fertility, nurture, growth, new life, and groundedness. She's a true symbolic of gentle power and wisdom. She's reminding us of our energy as humanity. The divine feminine Mother Earth is the creator and the sustainer of life. She nourishes and protects us constantly, giving us air to breathe, food to eat, water to drink and cleanse herself, and home to dwell in. All these things are provided, whether material as to the home, material wise and space, provided by Mother Earth. So she, even though she might lie there dormant, and it's not just the soil, which is Mother Earth, everything that within her plants, stones, is Mother Earth. And even though everything looks like they're dormant, and sometimes we think the earth is not even alive because it's just dirt, you know, and you might see the stone and you feel like they're not alive either, but stone do grow. So because they are such a element among us, we do not appreciate them for what they are. You know, even the trees. You know, you might have a tree in front of your house. To me, I always say that's my security. When I'm there, the tree's there. When I'm not there, the tree's there. The tree sees everybody that goes in and out. You understand? So a tree to me is a security. So I talk to trees, you know. I reason with them. I don't just pass them by. I spoke to them and I say, "What are you doing, man? Blah, blah, blah. Look like you want some water and everything." I speak to them just like I speak to somebody. You know, I speak to everything in nature. You know, and I get answer, yes, because I can feel it inside of me, you know. I speak to the plants. If I want something from the plant, I talk to the plant. I tell it what I want, what I would want it to help me to do. And sometimes I ask, if it's not you, direct me to the one that will help me, because this is the situation. So I speak to these things, you know. So the earth is very much alive and is always dealing with us. We stand on her foundation. And I would say, you know, sometimes I heard people speak in a way that they said that they've been through abuse or sometimes molestation, a woman will say, and it has caused her to give up certain aspect of herself and certain role. And I would draw reference to Mother Earth. I said there is no feminine energy that has been more abused than the earth. But she never changed her role. She never stopped the responsibility that she has towards us. Don't matter how much. Everything we don't want, we throw it on the earth, most times, some of us, right? Anything, no matter how terrible it is, from feces to whatever, we will throw it on Mother Earth. And even our loved ones pass away, we will put them in Mother Earth as they decompose. Sometimes we cannot contain the smell nor the look, but we put them in Mother Earth. And she receives everything and then she transforms it back in a way. You know, so she's such a caring, giving and nurturing mother. And we couldn't have called her any other name than Mother. The earth is to us. I would say, one of my mottos, I say, don't hurt the earth, because she's not just the earth. You know, don't hurt her. You know? So these things, you know, the divine feminine mother is the creator and the sustainer of life. She don't just create life, she sustains it. And you know that the woman and the earth is so connected. One carry the two and one carry the womb. Right? So here's the connection between the two and the womb. Woman carry that womb which mold life, like it's a mold, you know. When you see them making the building block, they would throw it into a mold. So the woman has the mold inside of her that makes life. Right? And the earth, whenever she put out that life and that life continue for a while, whether it be premature or naturally, when it give up that life, it return to Mother Earth in the two. So it's from one to the other to show the connection between mother, or physical mother, and Mother Earth. There's so much connection between us as women and this earth. And when the earth is in turmoil, like now, this climate changing and all kinds of things is happening, the woman is on rest. Sometimes you might not know what caused you to feel so restless, what caused you to so depressed, what causes you to not relax as you should be, and you might think of something that is happening around you that you will claim that is what caused the unrest. But as long as the earth is in turmoil, we as women who are connected to earth will actually feel it within our own body. We will feel all the things that Mother Earth is going through. We as women, especially as women that is on a certain sensitive road, will always feel these things happening to them. And that is how connected we are. But many moons ago, mother-centered society was the only original way of human society. So way back in the days, the mother-centered society was the original society. It was just the mother that, you know, would learn from, and women were more active in their role and responsibility. But as time goes on, you know, and faced with many competition by the father-centered society, gradually the world became dominated by men and eventually was totally under the authority and dominance of the male. Patriarchal order as we know it today is only about approximately 5,000 years ago. You know, that this leader and the patriarchal governance take up leadership. And how many, what we see happening is that there are so much consequences coming out of patriarchal governance. Because the men sometimes, they don't think the way the women would think, as I say. When the women think, they think for all. They think of everybody. They think of all their women, their mothers like themselves, they think of all the children, they think of their husband, they think of their sons, they think of everybody. It's very rarely that a woman think just of herself, or a woman was made to think of the whole family, community, all the men, even when the men, there's disagreement and disunity, they will also think of the men. So we have experienced and have lived in a life and that we were born into, seeing the male father being the head of the house, but sometimes you don't hardly see him, right? Even though he's the head of the house, he's away working. He doesn't come home until weekend. He sometimes only come home on holidays, you know? So these things, how can you be the head of the home and you don't come home often? Every time you look around, it's mother that is there, you know? When we were growing up, we were privileged to have mother always at home. You know, the mother was mainly housewife those days, and they would stay home. So we would go to school and come back, and Mama would be there to receive you when we come in. As we come in, we could, sometimes as we come in, we could eat hot food because she cooked done and cooking time for us to get food and so. But over the years, that has changed. You find woman is working, woman is out there. Woman is taking up their role out there, because women used to govern community back in the days. It seems like it's something new, but it's not new. Women were always out there, but afterward the competition from the patriarchal male ruling caused the woman to just think about her family, and so she just, her governance become the home. And even at that stage, as I said before, even the time when she moved to the home, it was still said that the male was the head of the house. Even when most home were single parents, and the single parents was oftentimes was just the mother. There was no father. Many of us don't even know father, you know, but mother would work. She would find everything. She would find She would play the role that the father supposed to play. And you know, some people, there's either somebody a book that is written or a quoting that is, you hear people use and say, my mother who fathered me. Because many of us was fathered by her mother. She would go out and work, she would see to your discipline, she would see to it that you go to school, see to it that your homework, cook food, take care. She would wake up in the night if you are sick and take care of you or be up with you. She multitasks so much. You wonder if she has time to take care of her own self. But in taking care of children, the mother feel like that is how she is taken care of. Once the children are, I used to see my mother do. I used to see my mother scraping out the last of the food, to put in our plate, and then we would have to check and say, Mama, where's your food? And she would like fool around like say she has some plate. She don't save no food for herself. She give us all the food, and then we would say no, and we take a plate and each one of us would put back food on the plate and say, Mama, you have to eat supper. But if you don't watch her keenly sometime, if the food is not enough, she would scrape everything on our plate and then she go and scrape the pot. So we're growing up, we get aware of that. We would watch her, and when she shared the last plate, we said, so Mama, where's your food? She said, eat it on the pot. We said, but the pot only has scraping, Mama. And so we would take a plate, give back, and everybody would scrape back some of their food and their plate to give to Mama. So the mother is so concerned about taking care, and that is how this matriarchal ruling is. When the woman is ruling, is in charge, she makes sure everyone is okay, including the men. She would look out for them. Many of the, especially in our indigenous community, most of the work that makes the community go on is the women that is in the background. But you don't hear their names. You don't hear of them. They are the one who wrote the letters. They are the one who read the letters. They are the one who sometimes suggest, let us write a letter. They are no, but the names don't mention. You will hear the chief, this is in this village, chief, that is in charge of the village. But if you know the background of what is going on, is the woman really who's doing these things. But they are very invisible. They are never yet mentioned. They are never yet said, well, give thanks for who is always here doing these book work, who has written this letter for us, and this letter has proved to be effective. No, she's sitting in the room, you know, but she never mentioned it unless you know her and know that she's the one behind all of this. She's the one who writing, and she's the one whose brain the ideas coming out of. You wouldn't know. So the woman is very invisible. And it would look like it's the men, them running the thing and doing this work and everything look good. The same way in the home when they say the woman, the man is the head of the house. It's the woman who is working. Is she coming in? Is she seeing that you go to school? Is she putting $1 away if you make certain when exam time? She's doing all of that. But you see graduation day, the father is there now. And he's taking all the praises and everything, and he doesn't have time sometimes for the children. He doesn't find time. He's in the evening when he could have come. Sometimes the woman is going to evening class after she left work and have to come home. He's out there playing dominoes with his friend, talking in the bar. Say, boy, nah, I left until 9 now. When I go, my wife reach home and cook some food. And he could have go, if his job is 4 in the evening, he could have gone home and cook, knowing that he's not leaving classes until 7. No, he don't come home until maybe after 7 when you come in. Ready for him food. And he doesn't think, you know. And if you talk, him say, oh, you're miserable and how much he loves you and you don't know why you're baby like this. You know? And sometimes, you know, after years I go to know that, oh, then innocently you look like you're really not conscious of what I mean. So it don't make no sense for you to say anything to you. You know? More or less welcome you and give you a plate of food, make your guy happy. Yeah, man. Eat it. Quick and go and sleep. Yeah, because that's your present here. So if you decide to really show them the fact, it become a contention. So you have to sometimes tolerate them. And then maybe one day when they come for joke with you, say, you're not easy. You get the opportunity to say it, you say, you're not easy. How come you feel comfortable every day if you do what you do? And you might say, what? You know me, I come from work 7. I work all day like you, I come from work 7. I stop at evening class. I try to push myself further myself so I can even help the family, help you same one. And you sit down right out at the bar, that's like your friend every evening, waiting on me to come and come, you can even come in, come see the children and do their homework. You can't do that too, you know. It's not a woman's job, it's our job. We are in this together. And you know, these kind of insensitive ways how the men them behave sometimes. And we have to tolerate them. We have to have forbearance or else. Divorce and fight and home mash up and people don't know where father turn and whatever if we don't save the day. So many of the best marriages out there is because the woman tolerates some things. And it might take them a couple of years till when maturity and reach them now. Then come in and themselves and realize and then they start to check and come in and then they might see. Say, you know, say, really, I want to go. They know them a bit do foolishness, you know, then they say to themselves, of all the foolishness I had gone with, she ever put up with you and why, I don't know, where she find it because she not really, me and I really have none. Because the woman that tolerate, she keep it inside. Because she want to marry the world. She want to pick them grow up with them father. So we know all the insensitiveness. Is that the word? Of these men in this patriarchal ruling. And that's why we come to these situations, these consequences where we have right now. In earth. Not just here, in earth. And I know they're not conscious of it. You know? Because the next man come, a man, you know, you have some red dirt right here and some red, and you're ready to sell the earth again. When you drive through St. Anne's and see some earth, I always say, when I see all the backside dig out some of the earth, I feel like I have been raped. Me personally, feel raped. You know? I never really experienced raping as what, but then I get the feelings. Oh, this is all you would feel. Because this big hole just dig out into the earth and just left there. When you look at it, how you feel? You just dig out the earth, you take out some and just left one big old hole so. Just drive past some of them where they're running a sentence and see. Terrible, make you feel sick. Just to drive around. You understand? And the men is fine with that. Because they collect about 10 million. What is 10 million to do in the earth like that? 10 million piece of paper where fire can burn up for the earth. Does it work that? Does it work any money at all to do that? So, you know, these things that the men do. And me personally, as I said, I grew up in a domestic violence home. But I love my brothers. I don't think I can really, I know I can live, I'm very independent that way because I learned to be independent from my own experience that I have. But at the same time, I don't want to live on this earth without men. I don't want to. You understand? It can be a lonely part. You can feel like really that you are only half of this whole thing, living without them. And I always say, I want them to come along and I can bear with them. I have many experiences of working with men. I used to work in a bar and that was like a university for me, you know. And I did a lot of work and I come to grips with a lot of things I didn't understand by just being there. But many times I was the only woman amongst the men as usual. And I would talk to them and I would get answers from them and I would try to understand why they think the way they think. You know, why they do the things they do. You know, and I've gained a lot of respect. And as I say, I work a lot, I love my sisters, but sometimes my best friend is the men. You know? I have a lot of men who are good friends and sometimes at school and sometimes they themselves. And I realize how much they don't really know or think. Some things we will just say why the men are wicked. They don't really think that way and they don't think on that level. I've been in reason with them and realized that not really wicked, you know, them don't really see how we see things. And they don't take time out to know that I have a wife. Let me study something. Let me sit down some days and just talk to her about life. No, they don't do that. You understand? They just have a wife and it's all about, yeah, they don't get into any deep depths with the woman they have around them to find out how we complement each other and how we should collaborate and work together. They don't really think, they just half into what they're physically doing. They're more on a physical level sometimes. They're not in the depths. And I can understand. You know, the makeup of man, you know, their whole sensitivity and everything is on the outside. So they sometimes don't really go in as we the women because we are more inside person. You know, our sensitivity and thing is more inner. But they are more on the outside. So that's why a man will be so aggressive sometimes to a situation. So in this moment and time of gender streaming, it's a must, gender mainstreaming, because over the years, and this whole patriarchal ruling goes very deep. It begins in the church. And it takes its effect. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Who is the ghost? What is a ghost? A ghost to we is something we cannot see. And Father is visible, Son is visible, but the one that represents the woman is not visible. You know? I can still understand that because we are very mystic and we are more connected to the spirituality. But we are very much physical. We are here. That's what the representation of the Godhead means, which would be the goddess, become the Holy Ghost, but it's really the goddess, the God and the goddess, just like the Father and the Mother, the Sun and the Moon. So the feminine energy is very much there. You understand? And it's connected with us as women. We as women, we are so connected with the moon through our cycle. The moon has the same cycle. All these things are universally combination and collaboration and unit and connection that we should be living by. But somehow it is separated and some ship over here and some over here with certain inequality, over there with the woman is, if there's a serious situation around whether in the country or whatever, the woman is not called to the table to find out what you think, how you think we should address it, and many times the women has the answer. There's this old planting thing that the men planted a crop, and then when they planted the seedling to plant the crop, they would sow the seedling and at the field, and then the woman would have to go there, or the children when they come from school, to water the seedling. And the women said, no. The same time I have to go to water the seedling, I have to see that the children is doing their homework, they come from school. I have to see to it that the food is being cooked for the whole family. Good morning. I cannot go to the field that hours to water the seedling. And then in the night, because the seedling is in the farm, you see something cut down the seedling when there's nobody there to protect it. And the place they planted is away from the home. So the women come up with an idea. The women say, no, let us use some containers. Maybe the same plastic them that is flying around the place, and we don't know what to do with them. Let us cut them, put dirt in them, plant the seedling in them, put them on a shed right beside behind the kitchen where I'm cooking the dinner. And while I put the food on, I can go out there and water the plant. I can let the children go water it. I can monitor them. I can call them if they stay too long to go back to them homework, or when they finish their homework, them water it. The water is nearer too. We don't have to carry the water so far to go water. And the crop, the seedling is getting more water. They're growing better. Nothing is cutting them down because they're being protected in the night. You can come out and look if the cutters are there to cut down the seedling and so. And the men realized that the women didn't come up with a good idea. Because it was their idea to carry a plow way down so, and then the woman them have to go down and carry water it or the pit in the lunch. Sunday and the father them most time now come there because he says a woman that knows to water. But then take it way away and you still have duties to do at the woman is a part of it. So the woman has solved the problem for everyone. When the man and sister, the seedling them was growing more, they have more seedling because the cutter wasn't able to cut them down because the woman would get up in the night and go sit in that and cut them around because I right at home them. They were going better because they get more water at the home. The children was doing their homework and they have to go carry water to water. And she could cook dinner and do some things at the home and so. What the women do, they solve the situation for everything including the plants. The plants are more protected and more nourished. Water is nearby, they put water them better. So this is the type of mind that a woman will always think from. She would think of the whole. She would think of everybody. She would come up with a solution that makes everyone comfortable. That's how women think. But then over these 500 years, 5,000 years, women hardly get to exercise that mind. You know? Our old time people would say, she who feels it knows it. So because she's the one who feels the pain to bring life here, because every great king comes from a woman. Everyone that is out there ruling and afterward they draw these lines and there is no equal balance and they feel like woman is inferior. A woman didn't come out of, even though the Bible written and talks say ribs was taken from where we have never seen that in reality. The whole reality of why you are here, me is here, grandmother was here, grandfather, great-grandmother from here, great-great go right back, is through the woman. The part the men play is very important in planting the seed to fertile that become me, you, and everyone. But it's a very minimal role that the men play, and sometimes they get great pleasure from doing it. It is the woman who contains that pleasurous moment that was for the man at the time. She contained that with pain. From the very day she find out she's pregnant, she sick. She's vomit. She can't sleep. She can't keep down the food. She this. The little water you give to her become a problem. She has to find space to breathe. She has to find way. It is inside her. Where she can't go nowhere left, she can't take care of put nowhere. She can't say she have to go this and she have to put it up until she come back. She carry everywhere with her. Just a little tip of water you give to her. You find great pleasure when you are doing it. But at the end of the day, she keep it inside and she gave you back a form looking just like you. What mystery! What mystical species is this in front of me that can do this? I did not give her a form like this. I gave her just a tip. I didn't even know that something happened in the moment. And now this woman, after a couple months, gave me back a child that is a splitting image of myself. So when you read the Bible, and the Bible says, come let us make man. And he was made in the image of who? Of who? Who it look like? So we the women as a role and as given a certain connection in this earth, a sacred connection that to me it sometimes our role
is a role that is envied. You know? It's like you say, well, I wish I didn't get a role there for play. Because they don't realize who them is. Because sometimes I think the men realize who we are more than how we realize ourselves. Because they will always come and plug in. Plug in. We are the socket, you know. That you put your phone there and you put it once in and you can plug up for charge. You have to plug it in so it gets some light. So it's for the man them plug into us. We don't know what they get. Them say they get a little figure, but they might not even explain to we enough what happens when them plug in. So we charging them, we recharge them day in, day out. Some of them tell you they can't live without a woman because of this recharging thing. Sometimes they play no other role than to come and charge. Yeah? And we are so facilitating. We assist them. We make certain that they're taking. Sometimes we don't feel well neither. But we are saying it's my duty and yeah, you know, yeah. So let's make certain that him alright. And you sort him out and then if you feel sick and then what tell him say you're sick, you play in your role. You understand? Sometimes I sit down and I look, because I can only see myself outside and my sisters, and I look at the makeup of a woman and I say, some mysterious ones they will walk over. If only we sometimes know who we really are. If only we know the powers we carry. Because I said that great divine powers that the Almighty creating source wanted to connect to earth was put through the woman. The woman has a thing, way back in the days in China, if they want to steal a buckle, they would use a woman. The beauty of a woman. As I came in here this morning and the talk was about the rose and the thorn. Yes, that beautiful rose with a thorn. You know, roses always have a thorn on it. And you ever ask, why is the thorn is on the stick of this plant? Because as you see a rose, you want to pick it.
That's right.
And you reach out to pick it. But sometimes the reason why you don't pick it is the thorn and the stick why you don't pick it. So that's the protection. For the rose to stay on the plant a little longer. It has to be protected. You understand? Mm-hmm. So the thorn is what protects it. We as women, we carry a charm. They say the woman can charm a snake that is laid out in matter. We carry this charm that we was born with. But then after the years, we have forgotten how to use this charm. And so we turn it into sexuality. We just want to go down the road looking good and yes, hopefully, many of us might be at a different level, not all. But some just feel like their whole body and everything about them is the charm, man. Our charm is much deeper than that. Our charm and our beauty that we have gotten. As I said, in China, they would use the beauty of a woman. In buckle, if they have a beautiful woman in the kingdom, they would use her in buckle. Because the beauty of a woman is very, very, very stunning, you know. When a woman is beautiful, it can stop the world. The charm a woman carries, if we just decide, say, no, use it for sexuality, I use it for do the work, advocate, make certain things up. We can do it. That is what a woman is. And if you look and see, even in the church system nowadays, or back in the days, I always wonder, why is it that the priests have to wear a gown looking like a woman dress and have a very soft voice sometimes, like he's trying to let that roaring go away and he more want to talk like a woman, you know? But that's when the men take on a divinity, the feminine divinity, because feminine divinity has no gender. And a man can take it on as well. And it is good when a man takes it on, because a man is really aggressive. He was born in a physical aggression, so it's only when the femininity come out in them that they balance that energy of aggression. So we the women, we also need to balance ourselves with masculinity, because if we don't do that, then we sometimes become very handicapped. It's like you can't do certain things, you have to make a man do it for you. You can't do this, you have to make a man. We need to balance on either side. Men need to balance their femininity. Women also need to balance their masculinity. You must, if you see a hop up a tree, you must get a climb the tree. You don't have to call a man to come climb. Climb up with the breadfruit. Climb over the fence if you have to. You know? You can go down at the farm and chop down two bush and then they swing your machine too. Do these things. You know, you're not handicapped. It's a hand it take to do it. You have two and a man have two hands. You have 2 foot, a man have 2 foot. So why is it that you can do this and you can't do it? You can do it if you want. Things that we generally say is men work. One of the beauties to see a woman driving a trailer down the road. A work that they say generally is a man's job. The beauty is to see a woman in a construction helmet throwing water like a man too. You understand? And that helps balance the thing. That helps the men to see that we are not inferior. You know, there's a balance. And when we speak of the return of the re-emerging of the divine femininity, we're not saying that now that we've been through this and you were always ruling over us, we now coming to take over and you are going to now deal with how you deal with it. No. We are going to balance it. Balance it. Balance it, man. Balance the thing. And so we are moving in the era, post-COVID era. And because of what has happened, the feminine energy is moving, the divine femininity is moving at a faster pace. That is why you see all this shifting is happening in her. The divine feminine is moving at a faster pace to re-establish itself back in earth in this time. That divine, that ruling. Because we have been through years of patriarchal ruling. And now it's time for the women to come forward. Because it is always like that. Whenever house gets too dirty, then the mother would come and she would clean house. You know? We don't know why the symbol of the witch is a woman with a broom. But whichever it is, the woman will always clean house. So the woman with the broom, it's that stage we are in. After this COVID experience, the feminine energy is emerging because it is what is gonna be the only survival, what makes humanity survive right now in Earth. The mother, the healer, she is the one years of sitting up with you, nights in, night out. When you are sick, she doesn't sleep. She nurtures you, she takes care. She's thinking, she's working, her intuition is working as to what to do. Should I do this? Should I do that? Let's do this to make you feel better. So she's the healer, she's the nurturer. And she knows that what we need her in that way right now. So she's emerging. She's coming forward to take care of all, including the men who are tired now and just cannot do. You ever read the story of the man saying that his wife wasn't doing anything at home and he's going to the field and do, and he decided that he's going to stay home the day and make the woman go to the field. And the woman go to the field and she do a fantastic one. And come on, because she can manage the field. Woman deal with productivity, woman plant seed, woman know how to weed and clean up Mother Earth, woman know how to do these things. Because she's so connected to mama. She knows to go out there and take care, plant seed, talk to Mother Earth meanwhile, connect. Yeah, it's a ritual for us. Farming. To connect, to go out there and connect with the earth. So she knows how to do this well. And so she did the work and she come home. In the evening when she come home, the man was, everything was in a devastation. The man couldn't wait for her to come home. He couldn't manage the housework. And he was saying his wife was home all day not doing nothing. He couldn't manage the little work at the home where he lived. So don't think the woman's job is an easy job. But she gets through them. Because she wants to. Because she knows she has to. Because sometimes she's not thinking of herself, you know. She's very selfless. She don't think of self, she's thinking of everyone before she think of herself. So because she's thinking of everyone, she knows she has to do a proper job. She has to do it right. Because so and so depend on her doing the right thing. That's who we are. That's who we really are. Sometimes we might experience things that turn us aside. And it's not an easy thing when a woman is turned away from the role she do. Because it's from one, sometimes it's from one extreme to the next. And you can understand sometimes when you see a woman doing something, you say, something must have turned her off. You know? She could not just get up and do this, something must have turned her off. Why she end up doing these things. But I'm happy that there's women like herself, that no matter what we go through, we know we cannot be nothing else than who we are and who we were born to be. We have to carry that mantle for Mother Earth. We have to make certain we don't fail her, because she never fails us. No matter how abused the earth is, she still takes time to nurture. She's there for each one of us. Even when we throw all the garbage on earth. So right now Mother Earth is replenishing herself. That is what all this great shift and changes, even the climate change, is all about. You know, and if you look at COVID time and go back to in the days of Noah, you can know that that situation in the Bible with Noah and the flood was a city as a time like now, when the earth replenished itself from everything, because everything is a part of the environment, including people. The very thoughts that we carry affect climate change. If we're not thinking properly and thinking on that divine pure level, we affect climate change by our thoughts. And many women is out of balance today. And I can't understand. I've been there. When I look at some woman, I say, that's me. That could be me. I've been through that experience. I could have taken that way, but I decided to go the other way. But I'm still, it's like I would go out there and I would see the women there naked on the street and in the night, and they said, I don't disrespect a woman doing that, and I would never disrespect a woman. To me, she's still my sister. She's still, even though she might not respect herself enough to do the right thing, I respect her because she's still a woman. And I sometimes speak to them and I say, sis, yeah, I could have been there. I could be doing what you're doing. I'm not condemning you, but I decided to go, there's another way. There is another way. Sometimes that's all I might say to one another. There's another way. Yeah, man, if you go down the road there all the while and you're dropping a one pothole and tapping a maca. Try the other way, maybe no maca no this side. Yeah, man, just go the same way. Just try that, just go the next direction one at a time. So there's always another way. Stop up is down. Yeah. So these things, you know, happen. Our people and drive many women in a situation. Many men also, because I will not sit here and just speak of what happened to women, I speak of the men as well. As I said, I grew up in a domestic violence home. I could understand why my father was drinking and doing many things. The frustration of maintaining a family I was born, my mother, as 9 of us, all of us was all born. I was born in a Wackland house. But my father was always there to catch us. The nurse, the midwife couldn't catch us. None of them caught her. Like woman in the community where help childbirth. Couldn't catch none of my father. My father, he would go out drinking with his friend every night. But you see, when my mother is gonna come in here to have a child, he don't go out. He stay home, his friend and my friend knows that they can prepare everything. And he's there. And I say, when he go and he cover the nana, he bring the nana, he put all the water for the hot, and he set up everything. And when the mother in there, I try to have the youth, the mother tell us about it, my father would be there and tell her, Lillian, push now. No, don't push now. Him did it. And when the baby born in him hand, he take the baby, carry it out, hold it up, pray, bless, and then he pass it to the nana to clean up and cut nails through. Then he would bury the placenta outside in a tree, because all of us placenta buried in a tree and the land. And so, well, afterward, when we were growing up, you get very frustrated. You can't maintain your family. You take to drinking. You feel like you can't sit down with your friend and you would drink out the little money if it's not enough. You might like him say, what is he can do? And he just don't drink it. You understand? To your family. So afterward, I could, but I love my father. Why? Because of the fact when my mother tell me she should have 100 penny for him. Because I'm how we deal with our true pregnancy up to the time we're born and growing up, but then afterward when the responsibility taken, that's when the confusion comes. So I try to understand that and say, boy, it's not my father, it's a life thing. It's what you inherited, that cycle of poverty where we have this whole puppet and can't maintain him and he become frustrated. But it's not like he didn't like his role as a father. But he couldn't manage and maintain and support it, and he took drinking to it. And many men is like that. So I will not sit here and talk of women and the greatness of women and sound like I'm bashing the men, because I understand what they've been through. You know, and it's when you understand that complement and collaboration and unity really begins. Because if we don't understand, many of us is coming from some cycle that need to be broken. And we enter in our own life with it. And it becomes a situation afterward. So if we can understand where we're coming from both, and can reason about it, and can tolerate each other, and forbear each other indifference and shortcomings, we eventually staying together, we can build family. So, as I say, within this era, it's the era of the re-emerging of feminine, divine energy in earth. And it is time. It is full time. And it is the only hope. Because we are saying, well, maybe the policy there, we change things around us. Let us fight and see if we can get that from the bill that they have to pass again, and we've been fighting for acts after acts after acts. But until the woman is replaced back into the position and you're able to carry out their roles and responsibility holistically, not just in the home, because she still lived that role and responsibility in the home, but not just in the home, but in the society as a whole, until the woman is able and is respected and is looked upon and is called upon at the decision table to put in her input, to carry out her role and responsibility. Then we will forever try to redo and reinvent policies and bills and whatever. It is full time for that energy to re-emerge. No. It is an energy that all of us, including the men, will welcome. But if you look in African history, there's so much stages where women, there's Empress Taitu in Ethiopia. When the men was fighting the Italian battle of Adowa, for many years, they couldn't win the battle. And they were fighting till they said they're going to take rest day. And Empress Taitu of our army, you know, she's a general, and she was an empress. And she called her people and said, man, them arrest, they are about to them on the enemy, and the day when them arrest, or deal with the enemy case. Did you know that how much years of battle of Adowa was won on that day? When the women then decide, say, them are going to go out, they go deal with it. Yeah. The one day, the man then said, them have a rest. And the woman said, let's go out there and them arrest. Or deal with the enemy. The battle was won. So, many of the issues with the are try to fix, and we are trying to fix it, and we are doing all kind of thing, and we call meeting, and we call this, and parliament call, and this call. The women. The women. Even right now here in Jamaica, one of the best, one of the most effective thing in the governance right now that is, you can see the work, is woman. Whether one man, woman or what, but when I look at the whole governance of Jamaica, it's like I see only one ministry working very hard. You understand? Because no matter, I'm not into politics, but you have to get to see our duty. No. And I see a woman within the governance here working like triple time. If we did have 3 more ministerial work like that, we would be doing very well. And it's a woman. No matter how she tells, she's attending 3, 4, 5, 6 different places. You don't see the men them that is working in other office. I mean, you have other office that is, ministry that is in Jamaica that is for them ministry is under pressure right now in Jamaica. Minister of Security. Look at that's happening in the country. But you don't see the Minister of Security out there working like that. Is the Minister of Culture? Oh, why? Is a woman run and do it? A woman will never eat or go to her bed, she'll sit and do. But a man will do it, I said tomorrow. No matter how it's urgent. Why do you think like that? You don't know. A few may not be like that. But in general, sometimes man just know say, watch out, this is where the day cutting on. No matter business or need it for they get done. This is where the day is. We the women, as I say, women are the backbones. Right now, economic, I always say to people, say, you see the market woman and watch them. They look very insignificant in Jamaica, but they are the backbone market woman. And if they tell you some of them story, I don't know, I don't see them like people dealing with them as a group in Jamaica. And I get to see market woman grouped and deal with proper vendors. Because what? Many of them, I saw a woman, the man left her 6, 7 picnic pan. And then go trust some food from the farmer and call it, take it from consignment. And build one bill and turn down a carnation market. And after 5 years, then build out some for Beverly Hills, you know, and store it, you know. And have one people then drive go work and one when them beer them, me I tell you what me know. When them left market and drive them because they couldn't carry onion and all these things and sell and they sit there. Them park that and beer and drive off them BMW. When them buy with their money. Woman where you see me in a market and they say, many people come up here. Market woman. So I'm telling you these things until that re-emerging take place, and it is in the effect right now. Believe me, I've been working very spiritually because I keep every cycle. I honor the equinox. Yes, get up, it's a duty for me to go and honor the equinox, the solstice, new moon, full moon, waning moon and waxing moon. Last quarter, if I have anything to release, I release it in the last quarter, like now. When the moon is weaning down, is when you wean down anything you want to get rid of. You understand? When the moon is waxing up, you pray and you meditate and you visualize that what you want to bring into effect. So I've been working with the earth like that, on a spiritual level, and I tell you that it is time, the re-emerging of the feminine energy. Mother Earth shook up herself and said, I have to step up. And in that awakening, is that it will awake many of us as women. Once the divine is up, all meditation, and if you look around, you will see many women is awakening since the COVID as to their own situation, as to wanting to know how to make their own little medicine, as to wanting to learn to know how is this herb, wanting to learn to know what is the spirituality, how can I handle these things, how can I have a altar, I didn't have one before, and say my little prayers and keep up with certain things. I feel led to be. The ancestors is coming back into many people, and they're thinking about their ancestors. They want to connect, they want to trace their roots, they want to know who their grandmother was. A lot of that is happening all over the world because it is the time for it. We have our duty, we have roles to perform, not just in the home, but in society. And unless we are able to perform our role, things will remain the same or worse until the woman is able to perform her role, to know who she is to able. We are too suppressed right now, too limited, look upon as being inferior, not being equal, and all these things. And for too long we have been fighting to come up to that level. You know, but it is the time.
Mama G, I want to give them some time to ask questions or to ask end at 11.
So I can see now.
Alright.
Yeah man, it's a pleasure for me talking to you. I hope something resonate and awaken you and left something in you where you can go further, do your research, really think about the fact that yes, something is really happening, a shift is happening. It's a shift. Vanguard is changing. Vanguard is changing. So let us equip and prepare ourselves to take up full duty. And let us know that it is the balance of the garden and not a competition and not something that we left our brothers, fathers, uncles, sons out, but that we will stand up and we will do what we have to do so that they themselves, who you might say many of them did not look out for you, but they now will learn from how you do it that you look out for all, including them. Do not left them out. Do not feel like they are inferior. Do not feel like the men should not be around, or you don't want to see them around, or they are in the way, or they are the one who did you this and you can get back to them and no. Love them, and that's what they need. Love, to understand who they are and the role they play, and that without the female, it's an imbalance.
Okay, I was gonna first everyone, but let me not. So questions.
Okay, so you were talking about how the woman's cycle is synced to the moon cycle, and so my question is, can you go more in depth with the cycles of the moon, like you were mentioning the equinox and the solstice and how it affects the woman or the feminine energy person?
Let's take a couple questions, like 3 questions, and then she can respond. Just move this very.
You want to
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
I have a question. You were mentioning Christianity and you mentioned parts of the Bible. So my question is, do you believe that our Bible, the Christian Bible, that is, sets the tone for patriarchy within our society?
Anyone else? I want, in relation to the first question that was asked, could you speak a little bit too about the idea of cockpit country and mining, the situation in Jamaica presently, in terms of your indigenous knowledge system and the ideas that inform how you think about that issue presently? We'll come back in the next round, all right? So.
I mean, my question is going to kind of follow the idea of your question.
All right, well, if you can hear the question. He hasn't asked yet. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like along the lines of the question that you asked, I remember when you were speaking, you said that when like you were traveling the country and you saw that they were like, you know, really exploiting our bauxite deposits, and then it felt akin to actually being raped.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like speak some more about on that.
Okay, with you and this question about the connection with the woman and the moon. Yeah, it's generally as indigenous women, we see the woman as the one who keep the order in the house, in the family, and in the community. So sometimes most people are busy. Say, for instance, I'm a spiritual traditional leader, and so many times the community might be busy. I am an interceptor with the spirit, and so I intersect for everyone, you know, who is aware, who is, I always say I hold space for everyone I represent. So knowing that the moon cycle is to be, say for instance, the new moon cycle, sometimes because of everyday work, because we have to deal with the everyday lifestyle, because of everyday work and so on, because we are not brought up to deal with these things, we were more brought up into Christian homes. Many people actually don't even know when it's new moon, because they don't really study it, and sometimes they actually really don't have the time. You come in late, you have things to do in the home, and you can hardly take care of yourself when you're gone and day. So you're not really focused on this moon thing to say, well, today a new moon, I'm going to wake up 6 o'clock in the morning. At 6 o'clock, even if some of us wake up, you have to be getting ready to head. So I don't do 9 to 5 job, I'm home. So as an indigenous woman, I kept these dates in a way that even if I don't know the date, I still get up that day and do something, and then after reply of that, you know, it was new moon, and I say I'm so programmed with new moon. You know, it's like going to the bathroom every morning and if you program yourself like that. I'm so programmed with new moon that I will just get up and do rituals and don't even remember say it's a new moon is then further in the day. Maybe one of my brethren or my parents say, you know that this morning in the ritual is new moon. I say, oh, okay, I did mine too, but I never even remember said the new moon catch up with me. But it always come and I'm always there, because most time in the morning I always do my ritual as long as I can find the time to do it. So the new moon, as I say, on the moon cycle has to be observed. It is where you have new beginnings, especially in the new moon. And we always have new things to do, new projects. Sometimes some of us want these changes, we want a renewal, things are going on, it feels stale, it feels stagnated, you feel boring then, and you want a change. But the best way to facilitate these changes is to go with the cycle of the moon that we are, as women, is so connected with. And because the moon cycle is just like our cycle. So you might have something you want to release, to let go. I want to get rid of this. No, it doesn't longer serve me. And so you think of what phase of the moon will you go into with this? It could be this time, like now, right after the full moon, when you see the moon is leaning down itself back to the last quarter. That is when you put in your ritual or do your visualization
or your meditation on whatever you want to get rid of. And your creativity might make you do something. Well, I want to get rid of say for instance, I want to get rid of anger that I have. And you decided to write it on a piece of paper, and how can I get rid of this? And I say, well, I can burn it. I can carry it to the river and watch the river wash it down the stream. So within your creativity, because creativity is part of this feminine, divine energy that is coming to you. You have to know to create and visualize and create that what you want. Because we are really co-creators. And women knows about creation in such a way. You understand? We are part of co-creation. We are life giver. So we know how to create. So if we want to create do a creativity that release certain energy, we know which cycle we want to go in. You know? The same thing with the equinox. Equinox, we have two equinox, four equinox, spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Those time of the period, seasonal equinox, that you decided, you know what the spring season is for. It is like the new moon season, new beginning. It's the first part of the year. It is really my new year. The spring season is when my year. When I look at it, I said, this is really the new year. You know, it's the spring. It's when things grow again, rear and come to life on earth. And then you have the summer, when everything accumulates and gets very hot, and it's like the midday of things. Like you would wake up in the morning and it's the beginning in the morning, but then by midday it's the midday is the in between the beginning and the end. And so you have summer, and then you have your autumn, which is going near to winter, when autumn is a preparation, when you start to prepare yourself to go into the winter month. So the animals will start gather food to store, so and so. You see the ants bringing food to pack away, because they know the winter month will be the time when they reflect, relax, look back, and all the things from the spring coming down. So then, and you have the solstice. You have the solstice season. You have the solstice season, and which is deal with the sun. And so, this is the way we as Indigenous women we honor those seasonal things, and it is a must to me, but then some people unaware doesn't really deal with these things, you know. So that's your question.
So, between myself and DeAndre, we are interested in your understanding of the
cockpit and
mining and the connection with rape. You expressed it, and this question was of your understanding of relationship between Christianity and patriarchy.
Right. Yes. Understanding of Christianity. Right? Christianity has played its role in eliminating the Godhead from the whole thing. It was through Christianity that it all begins. You know, they implement it into that era with the women. And even though the Catholic Church is a church that really adores Mary, and their prayer would go through Mary, but at the same time, they wouldn't have a woman priest in the church. Yeah, they pray to Mary at a higher level than a priest, than a priestess. So you question these things and wonder why is this. But as I say, the role the woman carries, even though it's such a role, But it is a very enticing role to me. It's a role that other want that role. It's like an envied role. You know the powers of the woman, but you would rather play that role because divinity has no, feminine divinity has no gender. You understand? So a male can be a divine feminine energy. So when the men are aware and mindful that they can stand in that role, the woman was completely pushed to the home, and all her governance was only structured into the home to take care of family and all these things, was not to be out there neither in the church nor the society. So society has to play a role because it is in the Bible that they say that the woman should be silent. You understand? She should keep silent. And you see where the woman is totally eliminated after a while from the decision table. They are not in decision making because the Bible already mentioned that the woman should be silent. And most time when the woman is mentioned in the Bible is a woman that has not done any good works. You know, those are the only women that the history highlight. But the one who do good work, sometimes their name are not mentioned there in the Bible. So we see that patriarchal begin in the church because of the whole thing of Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. And the woman becomes that entity that was not there, you know, missing, you know, but still there effectively, just like Mary. It was she who was praying. As if the Father, Son, and Him, they would tell you that it's the Holy Ghost they depend on for the most strength, which is the woman. But then she was shadowed. She was shadowed and left in the dark, you know, kind of invisible, but still there. And that's the position so many of us find ourselves in, same way in the world wherever we are. Whether in the church or not, there, but very invisible. Yes, and they say that behind every good man is a woman. And I say, be sad. But she had to be behind. And why she would be behind when she can't stand up beside him? Is there anybody beside him? No. So why she has to stand up behind him? She not going to stand up beside him? So these things, you know, and so we have to know better. And some women get bitter in dealing with it. But I would say get better instead of bitter. By being mindful enough and decide, say, if you don't know, I'm going to teach you. That is what I see. I'm going to share my knowledge with you. I'm going to find a way out when you don't want to listen, to let you know what I know. Because as long as any day you know, you cannot know what you know. So the reason why the men are behaving so they must don't know at a certain level, so is to let them know. So but I said that the church play a part in this patriarchal governance. Maybe they didn't know the consequences would be like this today, but they did play a role. Yeah. The next question now is the captain. Yeah.
In terms of the indigenous knowledge attached to it.
Yes, the earth, you know, the old geographic area of the mountain. You know, when you look into the Bible, it said, I will lift my eyes towards the hills from whence cometh my strength. So mountain to us as indigenous women represents strength. It's where we get our strength, our refuge. You know, the Bible says, I lift my eyes towards the hills from whence cometh my strength. But then this same mountain become a place that for it to be so strong and effective, there is things there that is needed in other areas of life. For instance, backside. You know, they will tell you the positiveness of having to mine backside, because you know that we couldn't travel, we wouldn't have a plane to fly in, because it's the backside and the material from that would make these things for us to go on to modern life and to progress in this time, bauxite is needed. But at the same time, when the extraction from the earth is not 100% okay to do, whether it be bauxite or whatever. In the oil is the same thing, because all these things are in the earth for other usage other than just be there for what we as humanity in our modern development see these things for. The oil in the earth is to sustain the earth. But then we find a way to get that the same oil can run a vehicle. We need vehicle to be productive. We need transportation. So the same oil we keep pulling from the earth. But then there's gonna be a lacking some way, somehow. Like anything else. You understand? Just like we as women, we are the producer, we are really the child bearer. But if we just continue to, like back in the days, women never used to use family planning. My mother didn't use any. She would use breastfeeding, and we would suckle until we are about year and 9 months, or year and 9 months, or 2 years, and year and 9 months or 2 years, and so that was what they would use for the family planning. But a woman, just like the earth, couldn't just be having children, because you can have a child and within 6 months time you're pregnant again. You understand? But you couldn't be having children like that, just like how extracting from the earth by leave a void that is going to come with some consequences. It's the same way if we continue to have children, like, because we might be in our productive year, and we are very fertile, but it can affect you afterward. Afterward, you cannot be having so much children, neither financially nor is it good for your body. You know, so afterward it will affect you. So like anything else, those regions is affected by this destruction and extraction. Areas like the cockpit country can be very, very productive, can bring in even more resources than just extracting one time from it. There could be programs. The mountains is a place that you can go to, and it can help with many of our social ills we have. Many of our mental, emotional problems we have, we can go to the hills and get rid of the mountains and get rid of those problems. It's therapeutically, we can use these geographic area and it bringing enough resource. We don't have to extract the land and damage the area. We could use the area for other things, for therapeutic reason, to heal the nation. We could take trips into people. Jamaica right now need that therapeutic healing. We have a very vast mental illness situation going on in Jamaica, and those areas can be used. We can bring in, and as long as you are using the area and you're not damaging the area, generations can use it. But when you damage the area, it has no use to no one afterward more than that quick, fast money that you lose the land to get from the land. So in dealing with topic country, the way all the extraction, dealing with it is like what you call it, quick fix, a quick money, and that's it. And then the area cannot be used afterward because it's too damaged. When we could bring in more resources in the country by bringing people on tour, therapeutic tours, linking in with Minister of Tourism, and doing these things, you know, instead of mining and extracting. So we have to go back to the drawing table and see what is the best way to use our geographic region region that we have, instead of damaging them for cash, we can use them in a way that can benefit generations to come and help them better, because how are we going to deal with this great mental situation that we have in Jamaica? Bellevue has proved itself to be inadequate over the years. Mad people can just walk out and take the road. Bellevue is not helping our situation. And after emancipation, we did not get rehab. So we have historical trauma. How are we going to deal with it? You need the mountain. The Native American deal with Fijian Quest. They take you on a nature walk up in the hills. You don't have enough confidence, but after you walk with us up the mountain and you see what you climb, you will have confidence. You don't know your identity, you lost your self-identity. When we take you on a mountain walk, you will know who you are. Your identity will be restored. It builds confidence, it builds bravery, it builds courage, it builds your self-esteem. Just a walk through the mountain. So where's the country's investment? Is it not into your people? What we are seeing around here as crime and violence is mental illness. It's not crime and violence, but how are we going to solve it? Who is going to get the cat? No, let us do it the easiest way. Buy 2 police cars, buy some more shot, buy some more gun, run him down, shot him. How much of them you guys kill before you fix it? Shotting him not fix it. They have to shot one more before the day done, and one next one, and one next one, and then they self have a shot too. The mental health need to deal with. And how are we going to deal with it? The same environment, the arts, and the culture, and the environment is the therapeutic tool to heal our mental illness and to address crime and violence. And you could have think about it 100 times, you could have make bill till you're weak. You could have buy police car till you're weak. You could have recruit more police till you're weak. You could have buy shot and gun and whatever and come in with all of that. Not by fix this problem of crime and violence. Historical trauma, after emancipation, nothing was done. And we see the effect of post-traumatic and historical trauma. Walking around here like man. We do psychology. We know, we see what is happening. Enough people. The university campus is on this side. Our children are coming here. They must see what is happening. When you take one word down and research it, you see what's happening in the country. So let us face it and get it done. Mining is not helping us. And those mountains that you're mining for, whatever you contract yourself with the mining company for, you can get more resource out of it if you use it therapeutically for your own people. You know? So that is, I don't know if that answered the question.
I think, Leandre, that in a sense, I don't know if you're appreciating the connections.
I am. I'm seeing some connections through, like, say that there's some connectedness with your spirituality and the mountains.
Yeah.
And I guess in them exploiting that, then it feels like they're exploiting yourself because you have such a deep connection to the land.
And we need it in a time right now. It's that in a time we need those mountains and those geographic areas is now.
Okay, so I just want to acknowledge our guests who came in late. We would have done this at the beginning, but Mrs. Samora Bain, who is here from Barita Foundation, who has supported us in organizing this morning, and Mrs. Lynette Bassel, who is a long-time champion for women's rights, well-being, anything that you could say, and just for people in general. So whenever you want to talk to someone about the 1970s women's movement and coming into the 21st century, Lynette Bassel is your person, and she can connect you to others. You see, I'm putting you in the... All right. So thank you very much, Mama G. I'm asking one of our students, Lloyd, to just come and give you a word of thanks on behalf of the class.
Yeah.
No, we
Gloria Sims,
Yeah.
Mama G, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to speak to us about the re-emergence of divine femininity. Thank you for teaching us just a little of what life experience has taught you. I especially enjoyed learning that other people speak to their plans and it's not going to do so. And I'm sure we all learned a lot, especially as women, about our role in the upcoming shift. So I hope you enjoy your gift and thank you again.
Before you disperse, her documentarian is asked that if I have the back of your head, piece of your shoulder, a side piece of some other part of your body, that you do give permission for that quarter piece shade to be shown in her documentary if it makes it past the cutting floor.
Yes.
There you go, Karen, you have your permission. Okay.
Yeah.
And we can't help it. I saw her hand up. We can't make it pass. We know it's a good. We know it's a good. What was the question?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
She had her hand up.
Yes, she had wanted a question. Come in with it,
Come
Mama.
talk, man, talk. Move your back out your way. What will you bring?
One field this.
Alright, so you made a note about the shift to fascinate the re-emergence of divine femininity that occurred after the 2020 period, as in the fastening, right? So my question is, do you think it's due to the effects of COVID-19 pandemic, and in what ways does it cause the re-emergence, and why does it cause it? Why did it cause it?
I don't think it's just COVID that has helped. I personally was watching this shift from even before COVID. One of the time when it was mostly profound to me was in 2016 when they had that storm, Matthew was the name, and it was like going around the coast line like that. I was in Oregon at the time, 2016 October, and I could actually, the spirit come to me and I could actually see, and I was telling them in Oregon, I had a ceremony there in a teepee, and I was telling them, said, there's a shift, this is a shift, that's what looked like it was a storm. It was that storm that was going around the coast, like, and it was rolling all around, lifting from here to there, and just traveling on the coast, and I was saying, this is not a storm, this is a shift is happening. You know, but people are not aware. They just think it's a storm. And so that shift has been happening before COVID, but COVID helped to speed it. It is moving faster since COVID. And not just the shift, but even us as women, with crime and violence has really pushed COVID has really pushed violence against women, and the whole scenario about where women is concerned has been very, strengthened or impacted by COVID. So the same way the violence against women is impacted by COVID is the same way this re-emerging of the feminine energy is being impact to a faster pace since COVID. So COVID has really helped to usher in the era of this divine balance, you know, because many of us through COVID realized how broken we were, how imbalanced we were, you know, the way we eat, the way we think, and all these things. So COVID has helped to speed this up. Give thanks for COVID. You know? Doing what it's doing and speeding up this thing, because we are in for the change. And as I said, this time we're living in now is, to me, and from a spiritual aspect, is equivalent to the days of now, when a change is needed in earth at the time. So it's the same way right now this change is needed in earth, but it is however it come. We couldn't have a flood because that's what had happening now at time. So and there's so much bodies of water now to contain water, so it couldn't be a flood like those days. So it happened to be a pandemic situation that touched the whole world. You understand? And to bring in that change, because you know, if there's not a situation sometimes, there's no changes.
So, alright, so can it be said, and you know, we equate our bodies to nature, right? And spirituality. So could it be said that the COVID-19 brought awareness by breaking down our body and making us realize that we need to go back to our roots, our spirituality,
Right.
or depend on nature?
Yes, it brings an awareness, an awakening, you know? And so, yeah, sometimes things happen that you don't enjoy, but it is the only way. It's like giving birth, you know, you don't enjoy the pain, but that's the only way you're going to see that beautiful child you've been waiting on. No pain, no gain. So COVID was that moment to bring in, to usher in this era. Yeah.
All right, so thanks again, everyone. We actually have a class now, but let's take a little break so I can walk over to my tea and water. All right?
Can I get a picture?
We should take a picture of the class.
That's with the class.
Yes.
I wouldn't
So
mind.
if we can go on with that. I'm not a great picture taker, so it may not come out good.
I was sweet so black.
I'll call you when you don't understand what you're doing.
I think I was going to see the shots earlier.
Okay.
Really, let's get how the online class happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna come offline now.
Yeah, man.
All right?
Go to the front, please.
Oh, why not spreading themselves?
I saw you like something. Rosalie sent it to me.
Come in front of the desk.
Okay.
So that
Don't worry, we still got everybody. Once they get there, we're good. Y'all just want to, see, you want to have a white shirt blending out in a white space so you just sort of disappear. It don't work like that. Gaamaa, in the middle. In the middle, please. Thank you. And may I out on this anyway? One little cheek for me.
Everybody show it?
No. Body-wise, double up behind there. Gray shirt, slide in a little bit. Oh, don't forget to move furniture. Oh, sorry. There you go, there's your angle. Rear corners. I see everybody. That one sees everybody. I want to go on this, a red shirt, stop hiding. Does everybody have a window? Can I see eyes on everyone?
Yes.
Boom. Good morning.
Good morning.
Did y'all have a good time with Gaamaa G?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, you can tell I make a lot of noise. This one's taking one every 5 seconds. This one was running video. Boom. See that?
No, man, don't take it. Okay.
Go pop up.
Alright. Alright.
Should I take a picture?
Mama, do you want another picture too?
But you take picture.
Huh? Oh, all these still running, trust me, I got you. You're covered. This was one every 5 seconds, you were covered.
We never actually met, so I don't know.
Brenda Peart.
Brenda. All right. So Brenda, can we get the video?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Just need an email it. That is it. It's 2 forms. It's this one, that one's on GoPro, and then I've got tighter shots on the other camera. Because just for Gaamaa University, and I happen to be on the island.
I'm glad you are here. So I have her email and everything, so I will just email her to say to ask for the video.
No problem. Or just get to me. I'm easy to find. MsBJPeart.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, man.
No. Karen Marxist.
New generation.
That's big grown up. I just do stuff on YouTube there. So otherwise, just ridiculous repository of information. Oh, MS? My brain doesn't pick a platform, any platform, same thing. One, two, three, four. Laziness, girl.
I've been to Dubai there. Charles Story is a woman parent over there. Give me a number. Yeah. Charles Story is a woman parent. They're the only people with a woman. No, I'm sorry. I said, with a woman parent this year.
Oh, well, because we came in courses by internet with the trees and hair for so long, so you don't know what's to be very